What's going on, y'all? Listen, let me show you something, right? Look at that. See that? New York City, baby. So this is the first time I'm doing a video at night, so I try to tell you something that's really interesting. I just came from ASAP Rocky concert. This is the first time I'm seeing ASAP Rocky, period. And the experience was trash in a lot of ways. For a bunch of reasons. And full disclaimer, I'm a big Rocky fan. I support Rocky. So it hurts me to say that, but I was disappointed. And this is my first time seeing the nigga. And I don't know why it was so bad. There could have been a host of reasons. But essentially, let me tell you what happened. So I get there, and we wait. DJs are playing bullshit music, whatever. We waiting, and then at 1 or like maybe 2 o'clock, Rocky comes on. Rocky comes on with this bravado. He's playing a record that slaps, and I'm like, yo, this is why I fuck with this dude. This dude is like me. Like, this is what I would do. And then he plays 3 songs and bounces, which to me was the craziest shit. I'm like, look, listen, I just spent almost $100 to come and see you for the first time, and I get the wackest show. Now, listen, there could have been a bunch of reasons why this happened, right? Number one, he could have been just on some like unpopular, greedy type, and just been like, look, I'm gonna scoop through, play a couple songs, get the bag, and bounce, right? I mean, that's the reality of this music shit, right? That's the reality. He could have been on that tip. He could have also been like, the management maybe wasn't paying him as much for him to actually do a full set, so he's got to do a couple songs. He's doing a favor for somebody, whatever, and then he gets that and bounces, whatever. Or he came through, he tried to do a little mosh pit thing, and right off the top he was like, yo, let's do a mosh pit. And y'all niggas like, if you're not ready for the mosh pit, niggas, get the fuck out the way. And then he put the mosh pit on, and I think niggas fucked him up in that mosh pit. Then he probably fell back after, when he finally got retrieved from that mosh pit, and was probably like, you know what, like, I'm gonna call it a night. So there's a whole bunch of reasons why the dude might have decided that he's just gotta cut it short. But it was disappointing, man, because this is the first time I'm seeing Rocky, period, and it's a bullshit show. I was talking to a guy outside the show, and he was saying how, like, he's been following Rocky since Live.Love.ASAP days, and he was like, the best time to catch Rocky, and anybody who knows this, if you really were listening to Rocky, was before he dropped Long Live ASAP. Yeah, man. He was like, I remember I went to see him doing those Club Paradise days, and he's from Flatbush, the dude I was talking to, and he's like, yo, those were the days, man, like when he just had Goldie out. He didn't even really have much out, but he had Live Love ASAP. Like, he was doing Leaf and Pretty Flacco and shit like that. That's what I miss, man. But Rocky is a superstar, man. Like, he was, anyone who was listening to him at that time knew. Like, you could just tell, like, he had that thing, you know what I'm saying, with what Yams and them were putting together and his whole charisma. He's not going to be underground for very long. And in that audience I was with, you had hood niggas, you had hipsters, Asian cats, whatever. It was a whole bunch of mixes, but that's the thing. Like, Rocky is a big time superman. So, he's gonna come through, do Praise the Lord, and whatever that record with Cardi B, which again I don't care about because I'm a Live Love ASAP dude. He's gonna do those songs and call it a day because that's what the audience is. And I think it speaks to where music is at, because unfortunately, for you to really see a full Rocky set, you gotta pay like $200, $300, just general admission. Who can afford that shit? White folk, right? Or people who at least got that money, and that tends to be white folk. Like non-minorities. I mean, people from the hood. I mean, there were hood dudes there at where I was at, but the tickets were also a little bit lower. And again, if Rocky wants dudes like that to show up, like, we want to hear the music. Like the dude was telling me, like, hood niggas, like, we not about the worship and all that. We like your music. We respect your shit. We just want to see you rock. You know what I'm saying? Like, all that extra shit, like, you know, that's for the freaking, you know, the casuals and the whatever. And the problem is that once your ticket prices start to rise, you price out a whole bunch of people, and these are people that probably rocked with you at the very beginning and put you on and gave you that credibility, right? But, you know, so is life. So yeah, man, bottom line is I had a kind of a whack experience, and life is funny like that, man. I've tried to see Rocky twice before this, and in both situations the show got canceled, actually, which is, you know, really ironic. So, and then I stopped after a while because you know, he was dropping music, but the new stuff was more mainstream oriented, and, you know, I was just like, I don't want to pay all this money just for him to do songs that I don't care about. I want to hear Live.Love.ASAP shit. I want to hear Pretty Flacco, Max Julian, Thug and Noise, right? Like, the shit that he would have done when he was still an underground artist. That's what I want to fucking hear. But he's not going to do that anymore, right? So it's disappointing, and it is what it is, man. But I have to say, from the little I heard, there was a new joint or whatever that he played when he first came on stage, and that shit sounded hard. Like, it sounded fire. And, you know, that's Rocky, man. Like, you know, he's a talented cat. He's got a lot of charisma. So overall, I guess it was kind of a waste of money, but at least I've seen him live once, and I can relate. I can kind of see, like, yeah, there's a lot of stuff that I've always liked about the guy in terms of his charisma and the attitude, and, you know, and that's cool. You know, I don't need to see him again anymore. And then on my way back, I had an interesting experience with, you know, a bus driver, and we were talking hip hop. I was telling him how my ASAP Rocky experience was trash and all that stuff, and he was kind of like, you know, that's disappointing, and how it's hard for him to see shows now because shit is just too expensive. And I was asking him, like, who are your favorite rappers? And the dude was like, oh, you know, I know Jay-Z. And I was like, what do you mean you know Jay-Z? He's like, I know Jay-Z. I'm from Marcy. That shit is hilarious, man. Only in New York will you have some shit like that. And he was saying that, like, Jay is really about that life, man. Anyway, all that shit was real, a reasonable doubt. Later.